Welcome to day 4. How did day 3's exercise go? Yesterday was a very heavy day. You might be still working on digesting some of the foundational knowledge that we've shared in the last 3 days. So today is a little lighter day. We're going to talk about the core terminologies that you need to use as a project manager. So there are 10 project management terminologies I want you to start incorporating into your vocabulary, especially if you're someone in the process of job hunting. Make sure you incorporate these into your language during your interviews. So now let's walk through them. First is scope. So this refers to a boundary of the project. So what's in the project boundary and what's outside of the project boundary. So managing the scope would help your project stay on track. And understand the scope clearly is certainly very crucial for project manager. So try to incorporate the word scope into your discussion. Stakeholders. Stakeholders are individual and group who have an interest in the outcome of projects. They could be internal and they could be external. They could be in the leadership role and they could be part of a project team. And they might also be a project customer. So with that being said, if they have a strong interest in the outcome of the project, they're considered one of the stakeholders. Number 3 is work breakdown structure. So this is a very hierarchical decomposition of the project into manageable chunks. In another way, maybe work tasks or work packages for you to be able to break it down to a digestible size. So a project scope is be able to break it down into executable steps in the project. And this structure, this decomposition is called a work breakdown structure. Critical path. So the sequence of stages determine the minimum time needed for a project. Delays in the critical path will affect the project completion date. So this is the must-have steps in a project. Any changes in these steps will impact the project outcome. Number 5, risk management. So the process of identifying, assessing, and prioritizing uncertainties in a project so you can minimize that impact in the project outcome. So this is considered risk management. Number 6, project charter. In the earlier days, we did the exercise of project charter. Project charter is a formal document, provides an overview of the project, so include its objectives, stakeholders, give the project manager the authority to proceed. Remember, we had the last step is the approval, so that's the authority to start, proceed, execute the project. So another word you hear often paired with project charter is project plan. Project plan is not as formal as project charter, but it contains very similar information. Number 7, baseline. The original project plan against other project's progress is measured. So baseline typically include your scope, schedule, and your cost, sometimes also your resources as well. So this is where your initial project plan is. Once you start monitoring, controlling, this is you compare the actuals against, and that's your baseline. Number 8, resource management. So that's considering effective planning, allocation, and utilization of resources. And it's not exclusive for people. It could be material, equipment, and also your budget could be part of the resource as well. So you're able to plan, allocate, and manage all of that. Number 9, milestone. Milestone is significant points or events in a project, meaning break down the project into manageable segments, big chunks, that completion of each major segment, a big chunks of that is a milestone in the project. Number 10, project lifecycle. As we explained in day 1, project lifecycle is a sequence of the phases for the project to go through initiation to closure. So the entire life cycle shows your complete knowledge about project and project management, so you're able to not only start and complete a project journey. So those are the top 10 project management terms you need to start incorporating today if you haven't already. So now, let's get through this with an exercise. So for today, the exercise is that go back to the project you described in day 1. Can you re-describe that, incorporating as many as possible the project management terms that we just discussed and be able to make it much more like a project management professional description of a project. So give that a try. Post it in Facebook group. I'll provide you feedback and comments, and I'll see you in day 5. Stay tuned. Day 5 is bonus day for job seekers. I'll see you there.